going on? What's going on? We are live. It's Arkatech Beatz. It's your main man, Juggernaut, Arkatech Beatz. Please let me know if you can hear me in the live. Please let me know if you can hear me in the live. Please let me know if you can hear me in the live. Shout out to everybody that was in the live last night. I wind up leaving the live and then coming back in again. Pause. Mike Trauma D came in last night. You know, he jumped in on the live last night, and he was just playing the crazy heat, man. Yeah, like y'all missed it. Y'all missed the treat. And that was about like midnight. So what we doing tonight? We making no more beats tonight, man. It's gonna be a real boom bap tutorial tonight. Let me know if you can hear me in the live. If you can't hear me, please hit me in the chat. Tell me if you can hear me or not. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you can hear me in the live, man. Shout out to everybody that's joining the live. So what we trying to do now? What we trying to do? We trying to do beats tonight. And we're going to start with a boom bap tonight. Real easy, you know what I'm saying? Please let me know if you can hear me in the live, man. Can everybody hear my beat in the live? Can everybody see my NPC in the live? I guess ain't nobody saying anything, so I'm gonna guess you can hear it. So I got some samples in here, and I'm gonna just show you how easy it is to switch up stuff using the same track, or the same beat rather. Change the samples. Have the beat sound better or worse, whatever. You know, we want to try it out. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Let's go. Try that again. Ready? Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Free Max B. November 9th. When Max B come home, it's gonna be crazy. We just doing basic boom bap tonight, man. So if you're a boom bap guy, boom bap gal, you like that hip hop, we're gonna be making that tonight. We're gonna be walking through how we make those tonight. Really basic boom bap. And you know, I'm gonna variate some of it. I'm gonna use a straight loop, and then I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna chop it up, do another variation, and just really let you understand, you know, how we break it down, how we get it done. Listen, it's multi-platinum producers, Arkatech Beatz, man. Big Pun, Nas, Prodigy, Mobb Deep, Jadakiss, Freddie Gibbs, Max B, Killer Mike, Waka Flocka, Shorty Low, Saha the Prince, Meek Mill, you name it, we did it. The game. Let's go. And make sure you're listening to my joints. Bluetooth speakers only. Or play in the car. I think this can get a little louder, so I'm going to normalize it in the MPC. So when you normalize a sample, it kind of expands the wave, makes it a little bit louder, right? We're going to add a bass line to this. We're going to use a plugin called Sub Factory. Shout out to Akai, Andy McIntyre Akai, that, you know, provided this for us. It's a dope plugin for 808 basses and bass sounds. Make sure y'all sharing the live. Let's try it. Let's go. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. That's off. What? See how you gotta listen to your stuff? Listening to the headphones, it sounded all crazy. It sounded right. It sounded right. Interesting. Shout out to everybody that's in the... All right, let's go. That sounds better. Had to fix that. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. live. I'm ready, I see you. Classic boom bap tonight. Let's go. He says, I'm from the age of digging in the crates for the same reward you're feeling with this beat. I think you got to do your research on who we are. Shout out to you. For everybody that's joining the live, what do we do in this? What we did in this beat? We started it off with a sample, right? Very simple. And then we have very simple elements: hi-hat, snare, basic kick with a giddy up in it. We first laid that kick down at the 116. Then we changed the velocity to get that doo-doo. Right. Now to add a little variation to the sample, what we did is we added a bass line in it. You know what I'm saying? Old school. Right? And then we added a string line to it on the top. Now, the sample still got a little bit more for us. I'm going to double this up. This is 4 bars. We're going to turn it to 8. Hey, shout out to everybody that's in the live. It's multi-platinum producers, Arkatech Beatz, Big Pun Nas, Prodigy, Mobb Deep, Jadakiss, The Game, Raekwon the Chef, RZA, Meek Mill. You name it, we produced it. Let's go. So what did I say about changing the velocity? All right, so when you're laying down a kick drum here, for example, I use this kick here, right? I believe. Right, so if you notice, the front kick is, we're going to do 16 levels on the MPC. 16 levels is going to change the velocity, right? So what it's going to do is it's going to make every pad diminish in volume. So as you go down, it gets less, right? So the main kick is going to start with this one. Boom, right? Now the one that you hear going, the quick one, is a lower pad. So you start with that, right? Now the trick to that now is making sure that you're changing the timing. Your main timing is going to be 116, and when you add it in that lower velocity, you want to change the timing to 132 so you can get closer into the grid. All right, that's the trick. That's how people do it. If you're trying to do the quote unquote premier, quote unquote ninth wonder, quote unquote Pete Rock, that's the way you do it, right? Well, that's the way we do it, rather. Some people use a different kick altogether. I find it to be complex, but you know, to each his own. So let us know how we can get these tracks exclusively. What we will be doing, and me and my partner, we talked about this. We talked about this yesterday when we were on the live yesterday. We did talk about offering limited licensing, not necessarily exclusive. We're not really in the era of exclusivity, to be quite frank. Producers can no longer do that. If you're a producer out here, you really can't do this whole work for hire exclusivity thing. It's really an antiquated model. And because streaming rates are so extremely low, it kind of puts you at a very, very, very disadvantage, if I have to say it that way. Make sure that you guys are copying the stuff, the books on the right, so that you can learn the music business. Musician's Guide to Music Copyrights, Musician's Guide to Music Publishing, and also the ultimate guide to forming your own music LLC. If you don't understand it, if you don't understand the music business, you're going to be doing this thing in vain, and you can get yourself robbed really bad. So let's keep going with this beat. I want to add another part to it. Right? Sterling, I hope I answered your question. Let's go back to the track mute. We're going to mute the strings. Thank you for your answer, but how many producers can have a main character in the mix? I'm not sure that I understand your question. Yo, coach, Coach J. I didn't even know the Knicks was playing, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. I haven't been keeping it up with it. Who winning though? The Knicks by 3 in the fourth quarter. Man, that sounds like an ulcer to me. Like a stomach ulcer. Shout out to the Knicks. Sterling, I don't understand your question though when you say how many producers can have a main character in the mix. Look, let's say your lyrics are dope and you remain faithful. Yo, listen, I'll put it in perspective for you, man. My first record is platinum in 1998, and I have never seen that. Meaning artists remain faithful. Artists gonna go where the money go. You know what I'm saying? When the producer don't serve them, they keep it moving. Yo, PW, I see you. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Everybody that's joining the live. Shout out to everybody that's sharing the live. Shout out to Keish. Thank you for your gifts. Sterling, thank you for your gifts. Coach J, NYC, I see you. Thank you for your gifts. Born Ready, thank you for your gifts. Thank you for everybody that's following and sharing the live. Let's go. And we're here every night at 9 p.m., man. We're showing people how to music production, music business, answering questions, giving people a guide so you know how to really get into this game and, you know, understand what's going on, you know what I mean? If y'all got questions, just put it into the chat. I'll answer your music business related questions. I think I'm gonna call this one Magical City. No pun intended, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Shout out to everybody that tunes in every night. We here at 9 o'clock. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For the folks that have been here. Appreciate you, Sterling. We just really getting started, man. We just doing classic boom bap tonight. We ain't really going too crazy. Last night, though, we had 2 lives last night. I started off one. You know, we was doing some real, I want to say, like, you know, Wu-Tang Griselda type joints like last night. And then my partner, I signed off because I was tired. I came from another session, working on a movie. And then I came in, did the live, got off the live. My partner was on IG and was like, yo, I want to play some joints. We got back on the live. He went crazy. He played a bunch of joints last night. It was crazy. Y'all can check that out on YouTube. And it's just crazy. But we had some technical difficulties in the beginning as far as the sound, but we got it worked out. So I'm going to go to this next track. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it at? Here we go. Let me try that one. And I pick out samples. We're at Arkatech Beatz. Everything is at Arkatech Beatz, man. IG, Arkatech Beatz. TikTok, Arkatech Beatz. X, Arkatech Beatz. Facebook, Arkatech Beatz. LinkedIn, Arkatech Beatz. You name it, it's all Arkatech Beatz. It's all spelled the same. Website, arkatechbeatz.com. I think it's gonna be a 4-bar loop. 2, 3, 4. think I liked it at about 82. That sounded better to me. I'm on a 16 level my hats. Let's go. The timing is off. Good old FPC. Hey man, you didn't stumble on us, man. It's fate, man. You were supposed to find us. That's how it go. Nothing is by coincidence. Everything is by design. So I'm gonna take that sound. Right now it's a one shot. I'm gonna turn it to a note on so I could trigger it. Alright, and then we're gonna 16 level that sound too, so we can bring it lower into the mix. Ready? Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna put that in. I missed my cue, man. I was zoned out. Sometimes you gotta tune your snares and your kicks so that they go with your sample better. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Let's go. gotta find the right open hat for this type of pattern. You gotta find the right open hat. So like for example, I got that one, which is pretty cool, and then I got that one, which is all right, and then I have that one, which is okay, but this one you can't. It can't trigger it all the way, because if you trigger it all the way, you get this, right? So I make it so that it doesn't, like these trigger like a one shot. So I press it once, it plays the whole thing. This one you have to kind of manually and let it off. We're going to double it up, make it into 8 bars. Then I'm going to copy this into a new sequence, because I want a variation of it where it only plays the 4 bar. Then I have a variation where it plays the 8. And look, I like long loops. It says every out. Nah, I'm not using the DAW. I'm using this as a standalone. No DAWs on this right here. We're using the MPC straight. We're not using nothing else. We do everything inside the MPC from start to finish. Yeah, I'm not dumping anything into any DAWs anymore. I'm not like doing any of that. You know what I mean? MPC X Special Edition. Shout out to everybody that's in the live tonight. Shout out to Alan Edwards. We on every night, 9 p.m. Multi-platinum producers, Arkatech Beatz, Big Pun Nas, Raekwon, Jadakiss, RZA. Yeah, I got a record with RZA. Killer Mike, Shorty Low. Rest in peace to him. Prodigy, Mobb Deep. Rest in peace to him. Freddie Gibbs, Saha. Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D. Appreciate the follow, Alan. We here every night, man. We teaching music business, music production, beat making. Let's go. For those who want to learn, man, tap in. Yeah. For those who just joined the live, that's our second beat that we made tonight. This is the first beat that we did. Let's go. Prodigy record that we did is Prodigy featuring Nas, Self-Conscious. We're part of a producing team. My team is Arkatech Beatz. I am Juggernaut. My partner is Mike Trauma D. Let's go. That's the first beat that we did this evening. Max B, why you do that? Yes, sir. Can't wait for Max B to get home. Currency one for the wave. You know it. Born ready, I see you. Hey man, it took you that long to do to follow the host. Shout out to Yes. Shout out Landscape Guy. What's up, man? I don't think it's a mastering, man. I think you're always learning. I don't think it's that. I think what happens is what I want to show people is how to become proficient, and then over time you get better. Over time you perfect what you're listening for. Shout out to Zach Tyson, man. What's up, bro? But yeah, you know, I got my folks who come on every night with me. I've been on for about the last hour. You know, we made 2 joints so far. We was out here last night getting crazy. But in order to kind of get real good at this, I just think it's just about repetition and then trying new things. You know what I mean? Just trying new things. But when I come on at night, I just try to really do, the stuff that's basic so I can get people to really understand, like, it's not difficult to do if just given the right amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So, Zach, I know that you're just getting in, man. You know we've been here. Last night was crazy. Yeah, tell them that was crazy last night. It was playing so many joints last night. It was insane when Mike got on. Which door did you get, bro? Anthony Brussels? One Pro. I'm not really familiar with that platform. Yo, DJ Dutch, what up? What they want for the Studio One? Zach, how much they want for the Studio One? Man, you might as well get a live too for that. Shout out Shahid. Shout out to Sterling, thank you for the gifts. Keisha, shout out to you, thanks for the gifts. Zach Tyson, thank you for the gifts. Anthony Bustle, thank you for the gifts. Landscape Guy, thank you for the gifts. Shahid, thank you for the gifts, man. DJ Dutch, thank you for the gifts. You already, thank you for the gifts. Make sure y'all sharing the live. She got her youngest listening to the beats. That's what's up. Shout out to everybody that's sharing the live. So Zach, that was the first one. It's that beautiful music, right? When you say what's the first thing to worry about? Elaborate, what do you mean by that? Shout out to everybody that's sharing the live. Appreciate that, DJ Dutch, man. Anthony, I'm not sure I understand your question. We say what the first thing to worry about. It's a vibe. So listen, if you're gonna if you got your DAW to record yourself, and then you trying to figure out how to produce beats, you got to determine what's gonna be the angle. If you're gonna produce the beats, or if you're gonna be an artist, you know what I'm saying, or if you're gonna do both. And if you're gonna do both, right, you have to find a system that you want to create music in. Now, some DAWs are just good to record audio and stuff in them. Some of them are not really that good in terms of, producing inside them. Like Ableton is good. You can do both. You can do both in FL Studio, but most people don't. Logic too. People, they like to record and make beats in both. It just depends. I like to use hardware now. I've been using software for the last maybe 10 years. So you got to just figure out what you really want to do here. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the stuff that I used to use, the last real software base that I was using was Serato, and like the last beat that we placed with that was the Lloyd Banks Halloween Havoc for the record called Taking Notes, and that's totally on Serato Studio. And listen, it goes hard. It definitely, you can't really tell that it was done in a, because you use the right sounds and you kind of know what to do. But I prefer doing it, on the MPC. I think it's like kind of immersive, more immersive. Like you kind of get your hands is in it. You know what I mean? It's like you building it with your hands. I do everything now in standalone. Mike still kind of goes back and forth between Machine and Live 2. So for those who was on with me last night, they got a chance to meet Mike D. You know what I'm saying? Mike D was on, and he gonna come on maybe like once a week with me. All right, bro. Make sure you record it, man. Early producers, of course, being a New York native and DJ Premier, shout out to him. Pete Rock, of course, can never take away anything from Pete Rock, Large Professor, and Q-Tip, man. Sheesh. Like Q-Tip is like all of our grandfathers, not grandfathers, but. Do I use any rat gear? Not anymore. I don't use any rat gear anymore. I used to. I come from that old school where we used to have a rack full of compressors and, analog this, that, like, you know what I mean? Big mixing board. Like, all that is gone. Like, you know what I mean? It is just so not essential. You know what I mean? It looks nice, but it's just not essential. It's not essential to do what you need to do in today's day and age. I'm here every night, 9 p.m. You know what I mean? Like, Ableton is good, man. Ableton is powerful. Ableton is strong. Do I mix the beats in the DAW? Nope. Might do that. I don't do that anymore. Yeah, I get used to mixing everything here. You know what I'm saying? I want it to come out of the box. Pause. Like I'm a person that works on from like me and my cousin. We work in tandem, and we do the things the way that we do the things, and then we come together, and then we make what we make. And for my workflow, I like everything to be in one situation. I work very hard in trying to pick the right sounds, right? So that kind of it doesn't eliminate, but it limits the amount of post production that I have to do. Anthony, we catch you tomorrow, man. We here 9 o'clock. Shout out Leah Marie. Shout out 84 Fresh. Well, Jorge, I hope I answered your question, man, in terms of the producers from back in the day, man. 84 Fresh, I'm always cooking. Hey, man. I like to cook with Crisco, man. Make sure it's fried up real good. Let's go. Let's go. That's the second beat we did tonight. I have a third sample in here, but I don't know if I'm gonna rock with it. I don't really like it. You know what I'm saying? So the books that I'm recommending right now is The Musician's Guide to Music Publishing. I recommend that, of course. I'm going to recommend The Musician's Guide to Music Copyrights. We don't talk about copyrights enough. That's really like your first line of protection. And then also, you know, your guide to forming your own music LLC. I think those things are very important in terms of setting up your publishing companies, setting up your production companies, or your labels. As being, I think what people don't realize is that as producers, as you start to make music, each song is a piece of intellectual property that has a value assigned to it, right? Each song is a part of your publishing catalog, which you own 100% of, right? When you take your music now and you sell it to if you don't sell it to, but say you work with a rapper, now what you've done is now you've taken your master that was 100% ownership, now you split it in half. I also recommend making sure you read Donald Passman's book, which is All You Need to Know About the Music Business. We're working on another book right now, which is called the Music Producer's Guide to the Music Business. That's strictly for music producers, so that you kind of understand like the ups and downs, everything that you should know as a music producer. The music producer of old is not the music producer of now. You have to really evolve. You have to embrace social media. You have to now, for a long part of my career, I was able to be totally anonymous, right? So I was able to go make my money. Nobody knew who I was. You know what I'm saying? No problem. I drive nice. I eat nice. Nobody know nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just live a regular life. You know what I'm saying? Nobody know what's going on. You get your royalty checks. You ain't worried about nothing. You just, when you get bored, you just go do something if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Jump in the private sector, do what you want to do. Now it's not like that anymore. You have to consider yourself as a producer. You now have to look at yourself as an artist, and really your music is art, and you're an artist. But you have to look at yourself and market yourself kind of like you are a recording artist. And that's what I think a lot of people get lost on. It's like, hey, I have to really market myself like a recording artist. Yeah, you have to market yourself. You have to market your work. If anybody's making anything and you're producing anything, even if you're making, I don't know, if you're making gift cards or whatever, like gift cards, but if you're making any type of art, you got to market it, right? So it is what it is. Who I want to work with now that I haven't worked with. All right, from the legacy standpoint, who I want to work with that I haven't worked with, CL Smooth. That's from the legacy standpoint. From today's side, of course, you want to do Drake. You know what I mean? That's you can't go out without doing that. I definitely need a Jadakiss, not a Jadakiss. I mean a Jay-Z, right? Because you figure we did Big Pun, we did Nas, we did Prodigy, we did Raekwon. We don't have a Ghostface though. We need a Ghost too. So we need Ghost. Jay-Z I would like to do. new school guys, I would like to do Drake, Kendrick. Right? Who else? Who else do I like? But he's not really new. Pusha. I like Pusha a lot. Who else out there? Who else out there that I like right now? Griselda Cats. I love them. They dope. Yeah, I like to do another AZ. I like to do AZ. The funny story about AZ, right? Who in here listen to Max B? Why you do that? He said he's not a Kendrick, not so much. Yeah, it's in the quiet taste. King of Oneself, AZ. That beat that we had sent to Max B was on a beat. It was on a beat CD that we had given to AZ. We passed on the beat. See how it go. If I had to recommend 3 top drum packs, I don't really have a recommendation of drum packs, man. What I would suggest is, let's say you have a producer that you like right now. Let's say, shout out to Alchemist. All right, so you like the Alchemist sound right now. Most likely they got a pack. Use a pack. You know what I'm saying? If you like, Murder Beats, use his pack. You know what I mean? He got a pack out there. If you like Southside, use his pack. Use his pack until you can kind of figure out what your sound is going to be. You kind of use these guys' packs, and you may not use everything. See, some people say create your own, but you have to know where to start. And the only way to know how to start is to take somebody else's pack and then kind of deconstruct it, because you might have a bunch of sounds in one guy's pack, but you might only like, say it got 64 sounds. You might only like 16 of those. All right, now you go to the next guy. You might like 16 of his. All right, now you add them to the other ones, right? So you just keep adding them to your arsenal until now you have your own pack, right? This kid here, I just found random stuff, and it's just through trial and error. It's from me taking different guys' samples, cutting different people's stuff up. And then when I start to go back and start to realize that if I don't use it enough, then I start to take it out. Tips for mastering FL Studio. Man, you got to be... FL Studio is powerful. And I use FL Studio to do a lot of trap music. I use that a lot to do that. I don't use it as much anymore. I just don't want to be in the computer anymore. That's just me right now. It's just right now. But it's a very powerful software. Mastering FL Studio, honestly, I would say people, hey man, the same way you're here watching me, it's, you got to get on those tutorials. For people who do FL, you get on those tutorials, you start watching what you got to watch on that. I'm going to start doing a few of those, but I'm by no means like a FL Studio expert. Can I build a song in there that's going to sound fire? Yeah, but I ain't going to say I'm an expert. Some guys, you can see some guys building FL Studio songs in 30, 40 seconds, man. Some guys are nice like that. I'm not nice like that, but I could build a record in there if I need to. Just get the music and sample it, man. Just remember, when you're sampling, you have to understand that dealing with samples, that's why like I said, we talk about these books, copyrights and stuff like that. When you're sampling, there are things that come along with that. So you just have to be aware of that. Even when we're on live and I'm using royalty-free samples, I get a copyright strike every night. Every night that I've been on Zach, I get a copyright strike on YouTube. Every night. Copyright strike, YouTube, Facebook, copyright strike. I got to be disputing copyright strike. Like, nah, I got license to these. You know what I mean? And that's part of the game that nobody want to talk about. It's like the sample game is cool until say you say your record is playing like for example, the Lloyd Banks record. I sent this beat to Mike, and Mike was listening to the beat on live, and then he had a reaction to it on live, and Lloyd Banks seen it and said, "Yo, send me that beat," right? Because he followed us, so he's like, "Yo, I like that record, send it to me." So now we sent him the record, right? Now what if the record had a sample that couldn't clear? You understand what I'm saying? Like if I'm using the sample from somebody else, like from the time that I sent them the record and to the time that it came out, it was less than a month. It's not like back in the days where you would do a record with a guy and it'll take a year to come out. That's not how it happened. Like from the time I sent it to him to the time he recorded it and got it done, it was less than a month. So you don't really want to play with the samples that you're not sure if they're going to clear. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make beats and kind of learn and that type of thing, but if you're trying to make beats for commercial value, trying to sell them, whatever, you want to make sure you stick it to the sources that you can be able to have resale value and have to worry about clearing samples. Yeah, even if you pitch it, man, don't matter. Pitching it don't help because it's fingerprinted. Content ID is fingerprinted, and it basically notices pitch shifting as well. Who else got any more questions, man? I'm answering questions tonight, man. We talking to the people in the live, man. So I appreciate everybody that's rocking with me. Appreciate the new followers. Appreciate everybody that's throwing out the gifts. Zach Tyson, Keish, DJ Dutch, King of Oneself, Born Ready, Shaheed. How interpolations work. Interpolations work like, say for example, you got a record that maybe do a better example of that. Let's see here. Interpolations. How does the interpolation work? Let's go. Let's do the example for real, right? Can you hear my piano? Yeah, I mix inside the MPC. So interpolations are going to work is when you take a sample and you replay it and variate it, right? So it's not exactly like it was. It's slightly different, meaning you might have gone up a key, you might have changed a few notes. So now it's interpreted or interpolation of what it initially was. Now, what does that do for you? Okay, once you replay it and you change it, you still have to give credit to the person who wrote or composed the original, right? Because that's a separate copyright. And then now you have the master recording, which is actually the actual digital file as it is, right? So when you sample, you have to clear both. You have to clear the master side, the master recording, which is the actual digital audio, and you have to also clear the composition, meaning the notes that are written under the music, right? So whatever, if the music is, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like you have to clear the composition, which is what the music is, if you were to write the music out, and then you have to clear the audio recording or the master recording, which is the actual recording of the music. So if you do an interpolation, you kind of don't have to worry about the master side. You only have to worry about the publishing side, which significantly reduces the amount of sampling that you have to pay for, and then it gives you a little bit more ownership. Right, the sheet music and the digital music. I could have said it. I just could have said it like that, right, Zach? I was trying to break it down smaller than that. But like DJ Mustard does that a lot. Like, he'll take, a classic song and then, change the way he plays it, and But that's, to me, that's like, we call that like the Diddy method, right? Pause. But for those who grew up during that era, his claim to fame was sampling old music that was hits and then redoing them and make them hits again. And then you got guys that still kind of go back to hit records, replay them slightly, and then, it kind of gives you a launching pad because people are familiar with it. So it's easier for people to buy into at that point. Yeah, so regardless, do they still get paid off the sample? Yes, they get paid off the sample, but not as much. You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with a sample clearance, remember you have to clear it with the label, and then you have to clear it again with the artist and the music publishers. If you're playing it over, the label portion isn't as prevalent. Any other questions anybody's asking today, man? But also in this book too, there is a glossary of terms. So say for example, you wanted to know what's a 360 deal, or what's an advance, admin music publishing, ASCAP back-end royalties, catalog, co-publishing, copyright, cover songs. Right, ISRC, distribution, master rights, mechanical licenses. Just some of the basic stuff that people should know. Publishing, public domain, pitching, press kits, etc. Maybe neighboring rights. Like there's just different things that we have to make sure that we're aware of, man, when we're dealing with this game. What else? Making beats tonight. Let's go back to the first beat again before I get out of here. Everybody that jumped into the live tonight, everybody that followed, everybody that sent gifts. We're gonna be here again tomorrow. The main thing for you is really like to once you got your LLC set up, that's what you would use, of course, to set up your music publishing companies, and making sure that those things are, all your music is being, tied to your music publishing company or your LLC. Helps to kind of just protect you in case of anybody want to kind of sue you for something silly, or say that you took their music or something weird. But yeah, definitely you want to look into that. Make sure you're setting up all your publishing entities, setting up your production companies, whatever you may be using. I'm getting ready to jump out of here tonight. We're doing an early one. Shout out to everybody that comes into the live. That didn't even sound right the way I just said it. But for everybody that watches the live, for everybody that watches the live. We're here at 9 o'clock every day, Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, man. We're here, man. We're here to help. Nah, that's not all for producers. That's for anybody that's in the music business, man. It's not all for producers. It's for independent artists, too. That's why I call them the musicians' guide and not the producers' guides. You know what I mean? So it's definitely for artists as well. I want artists to understand that. Also, we have a guide on our website. It's called the Songwriter's Guide to Song Registration. That's for every songwriter that's out here that needs to know. He said the locks. What about the locks, bro? Oh no, the LLC is for the ultimate guide. Is for a music LLC. Is for anybody that may be a DJ, artist, producer. If you're in the music business, you should have something to protect your interests. You know what I mean? Outside of a sole proprietorship, to be honest, you know, you just want to kind of have a little bit of that corporate protection, if that makes sense. Something to separate your personal assets from your business assets. But that's not it. This is not this is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. DJ Dutch, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody that's in the live tonight. Thank you everybody for sharing the live. Thanks to everybody that's coming in. Again, we'll be here tomorrow, 9 p.m. You know what I mean? Oh, wait a minute. Tomorrow's 9 p.m. Will I be here tomorrow? I might not. Peace, homie, that's coming into the live. Actually, tomorrow, I'm gonna probably wind up. Tomorrow, I'm probably gonna get on early. I'm probably gonna get on tomorrow about 8 o'clock because I need to go see Sinners tomorrow. So, I gotta go with me and my bro. Gotta go check this out. My bro is an actor. Shout out to Sean Anthony Baker. You know what I'm saying? So me and him gotta go check this joint out, and we got to make sure that, we got to see this movie and see what it is. You know what I mean? Because we know that it's the #1 movie in the world right now. So we want to go see that, and we want to go support Ryan Coogler and them guys. You know what I mean? Try to make it get to $200 million so they can stop talking about it's not profitable. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's in the live. I'm about to jump out of here. I'm gonna play the beats again. This is beat number 1. And I had to add the Mobb Deep bass in it. Shout out to Sean, Don't You Do Beats, man. What's up, man? Shout out to Al, man. What's up, man? Shout out Angelo. Had to do something that was fly, you know what I mean? This is the second beat that we did tonight before I get out of here. Yeah, I'm from the Bronx, bro. Bronx, New York. Shout out to my bro Al. Of course, I have boys. Shout out to Brooklyn, man. My partner, my days in Brooklyn, my family out there. We Jamaican, you know what it is? Exactly, he does the Cedric Ave. You know what time it is. And out there, all the bumper clap people that out there. Cool hurt. You know, I had to get the incarcerated Scarface feel on this one. Shout out to RZA. Shout out to everybody that like the live, man. So what we're gonna start doing, maybe at the top of next month, we're gonna start after the lives. Well, not after the lives, but yeah, after the lives, we're gonna make certain beats available for limited licensing. And me and Mike had a conversation about it earlier today, and we said we want to do maybe a limited license for beats, maybe between like 5 and 10 licenses, like no more than that. So basically, we're looking for like, you know, the top 5 folks that's gonna, you know, come through, cop the beats, and then, you know, once they get the license, then of course, you know, we want to have that, you know, build that open relationship and dialogue with guys that are, you know, copping those licenses and trying to see where they are in terms of like their development, and, you know, and see how we can help as far as trying to move them forward in their situation. So, you know, more on that to come. And then also, we're also going to probably start moving the lives to a smaller forum, so where we can have more dialogue direct with producers or you know, or artists. So, you know, we're trying to figure out how we're going to do that as well. King of Oneself, what's up, man? Shout out to you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody that's giving out the gifts. Zach, you know, King of Oneself, Keish, Born Ready, Shahid. What's this? Honey. Shout out to y'all. I'm about to sign off. I appreciate everybody that's came into the live, liked the live, shared the live.